Thank you, Mr. Langworthy. Mr. McGovern, you're recognized.
Yeah, I don't want to take up very much time. I just want to say that I don't want to be lectured about law and order from Republicans, especially on this day. But Mr. Raskin, I think wanted to respond, and I think that's an appropriate thing to do so that this doesn't just turn into a series of sound bites. So I don't know if you have anything to add. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. McGovern. Just a couple of quick points. One is that the killer that we're talking about would not be held even under the new law because he was never arrested. He was treated in Georgia, under Georgia's law, with a citation for misdemeanor shoplifting, but he was never arrested. And that's why there was no ICE 287G check done on him. He would have been identified and likely removed, according to the Athens-Clarke County Police Department, had that been done. But he was never arrested, and he wouldn't be arrested he would not be covered under this legislation. So it strikes me as just off point. But the gentleman was talking about the dangerous criminals that have been let loose in the land, and I think there are more than 1,000 dangerous criminals who were let loose last night who are in Washington, D.C. or around the country. I don't know that any of them are non-citizens. I think most of them are U.S. citizens, but that doesn't make us feel any better. So that is a soft on crime, soft on violent crime policy that was embarked upon the very first day of the new administration. So I suppose I'm with the ranking member in saying this is a particularly bad day for anybody on that side of the aisle to get up and purport to lecture us on public safety when there are Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, members of the Ku Klux Klan, 3%ers, and other marauders and insurrectionists who've been set loose without any guarantee that they won't engage in violent action again, either against public institutions or police officers. One quick correction to Ms. Leisure-Fernandez. It was not 140 Capitol police officers who were wounded, injured, and hospitalized. It was 80, and then there were 60 from the Metropolitan Police Department, and there were police officers from other surrounding jurisdictions, including Montgomery County, Maryland, who came to defend us against the mob attack on January 6th. Thank you, Mr. McGovern.
Madam Chair.
Staff just gave him something, so I'll yield to him to.
Just to correct the record, ICE has said that Ibarra was arrested in New York City in September 2023 and was charged with acting in a manner to injure a child less than 17 and a motor vehicle license violation. So he was arrested.
We're referring to two different incidents. Okay.
Okay, but for being just let out, even though he was endangering the welfare of a child in the state of New York and let to go to Georgia, he would have been detained.
Correct.
And under this, he would be detained.
Correct.
So thank you, and I yield back.
Well, if I might respond to you, Mr. Langworthy, I appreciate that. If there are any crimes that are committed, violent or otherwise, by the more than 1,000 people who were released from jail yesterday, would you then say that Donald Trump is responsible for what they're doing? Well, that follows from your logic.
Not even, absolutely not entering this rhetorical question. People that have entered this country illegally and commit crimes should be removed from the country, period, end of story.
I thought you were talking about release from criminal custody.
Yeah. I would just, thank you very much. Again, without belaboring this point, but the reality is that the people that were released yesterday, I mean, one of the things that they can now do is go out and buy weapons. And one of them just tweeted that grateful for the pardon, he's now going out to buy a bunch of effing weapons. So again, you all own this. You all own this. I yield back.
Mr. Scott, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, I would just like to give credit